Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing a bit of a collaboration with Niamh Creates. We are doing a Storytime collab. Basically she starts off the story and does a speed paint while telling the story, and then after she's finished she hands it over to me and I finish the story. Now if you're here, that means that you have seen her part of the collab first, because hers is the start. So if you haven't seen her video, this is going to make no sense to you. So definitely check out her video first and go see her part of the collab. I'll put a link up on the screen. So yeah, I'm actually doing the art for mine with this thing. Surprise, surprise, Scribblefix is doing digital art. So without further ado, let's get into it. Lara kept her eyes closed for a few more seconds. She could tell without looking that she was in a completely different place than before. The air was fresh and clean smelling. She could smell the faint aroma of flowers and plants. She could hear the wind and the sounds of water trickling in a nearby stream. It was very apparent that she was far away from home. Lyra opened her eyes. She squinted a bit due to the light. She could see trees and plants as far as her eyes could reach. There were birds in the distance, and she could hear crickets. The fear that she felt earlier had washed away, and she felt eerily calm. Like she had known this place a long time ago, yet she couldn't remember. She started to walk through the forest, exploring. She wasn't aware of how she got there, but she knew it was for a very important reason. She wasn't aware how, but she knew where to go. As Lyra walked through the forest, she thought back to her father and wondered, why was he so secretive? There was obviously a big reason, but she was unsure why. Was her father protecting her or keeping away from a life that she deserved? Lyra walked into a clearing. It was full of green grass and the flowers that she could smell before. The aroma was stronger now. She looked around and spotted a cave in the side of a tall cliff. Any normal person would be too scared to enter, but Lyra wasn't any normal person. There was a lit torch at the entrance of the cave. She picked it up and proceeded. There were runes on the walls of the cave, not unlike the ones from her grandmother's book. As she walked on, there were more and more runes on the walls, becoming more intricate as she walked. Lyra's heart was beating faster. She was very, very close to uncovering the reason why she was here, uncovering the truth why her father had kept her away from her family, her other life. She saw a light at the end of the tunnel. That was the exit to the cave. She dropped the torch and ran for the exit. Her heart was beating out of her chest at this point. What was at the other side? Was it dangerous? Lyra had to know. The harsh sunlight was blinding. As her eyes adjusted, the image of a very tall castle came into view. There were vines covering the walls, and those same flowers from before. The castle looked very old and worn, like it was thousands of years old. Lyra walked up to the front doors and pushed them. With a loud creak, the doors gave way. The interior of the castle was not unlike her grandmother's home. It had the same feel to it. There was a large staircase at the other side of the room. She crossed the room and began to walk up it. "Lyra, my beautiful girl," said a voice. Lyra stopped in her tracks. She stared around but could not see anyone. The voice felt familiar, yet she could not recognize it. "It's okay, don't be scared. Come," said the voice, and Lyra knew where to go. She quickly walked up the staircase and went through a door to the right. She ran through corridors and up and down staircases until she entered a room that looked like a library. There, more dried herbs were in jars, and the walls were brightly coloured, and there were books everywhere. A thick layer of dust had settled over everything. "You're almost here, my darling," said the voice. "Who are you?" Lyra called out, but there was no answer. That's when Lyra spotted it. There was a book on a pedestal in the middle of the room. It looked like the book from her grandmother's home. She opened it up and flipped through the pages until she reached the middle. And like before, she started to read out the words. Her heart was beating faster than ever before. Her palms were getting sweaty. Colourful smoke was emanating from the book. She kept her eyes open this time until the smoke dissipated. Except the room was exactly the same. Nothing had changed. Perhaps she did something wrong. Panic was stirring inside of her. She messed it up. But then Lyra turned around. Before her stood a woman that looked exactly like herself, except she was older. She had lines on her face, and she was slightly taller. The woman had a proud, loving smile on her face, and that's when it hit her. "Mum?" Lyra exclaimed. The woman opened her arms wide, and Lyra ran into them. "Yes, my dear, I'm so sorry," her mother said. "I was trapped in a spirit realm. All magic had vanished from our world. Your grandmother was old, and she wasn't strong enough to bring it back." Lyra was confused. Magic? Spirit realm? "You did it, love. You brought us back. You saved me, and you saved magic." Lyra's mother explained that her family was descended from a long line of witches and warlocks, and that they used to practice magic and of all kinds. However, one day it went very wrong, and she was trapped in the realm, and their castle disappeared. However, Lyra stayed behind, and her father came home to find their home a wreck and her mother gone. Lyra and her mother walked back to the entrance and opened the doors. She could hear the sounds of cars in the distance and wind. Lyra spotted her grandmother's house nearby. They were back, and beside her grandmother's house stood her father. He suddenly realized who she was with, and he ran over as fast as he could, and he held Lyra's mother, his wife, tightly in his arms, tears streaming down his face. Their family was whole again. I really like the way that turned out. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and Niamh, I hope you liked the way I finished off the story. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you hit like and subscribe, and also if you haven't already, subscribe to Niamh as well. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. Until next time, I'll see you later.